When did you know she was the one? It was the first night we met, actually. Our first date was supposed to end with hot chocolate, but the biggest blizzard in years had other plans. That's the thing about college towns. A snowstorm doesn't cancel parties, it just moves them inside. So by the time Rachel and I reached my street, I wasn't even surprised to see 3 cars lined across my driveway like they owned the place. Maybe they'll move soon, Rachel said, but I could tell she didn't believe it either. Parties never bothered me because I had zero social life to interrupt. But these kids managed to block my driveway on literally the only night I had someone worth bringing home. That's when I decided to find out which drunk idiots were ruining my night with their cars. We fought through waist-high snow to the party house, the one with windows shaking from bass. I pounded on the door until it finally flew open, revealing a girl in a pink Sigma Sweetheart sweatshirt, holding a white claw like she'd just discovered fire. What do you want? She slurred. Those cars are blocking my driveway. Need you to move them. She rolled her eyes like I'd just asked her to solve world hunger before spinning around. Courtney! Paige! Come here! 2 more girls stumbled into view. The tall blonde burst out laughing. Oh my god, Kelsey! He wants us to operate vehicles. We're literally plastered. That's like super illegal. So illegal, agreed the one wearing sunglasses at midnight. We're being responsible adults. Look, if you don't move them, I'm calling a tow truck. Courtney laughed. Good luck with that. No one's coming out in this weather. That's when Paige finally noticed Rachel, gave her this long, disgusting up and down look, and announced at full volume, Jesus Christ, Kelsey. Look what he's dragging home. Honey, she's too ugly to waste a Friday night on. Send her home. Save yourself the embarrassment. Courtney added, we're doing you a favor. This is an intervention. The door slammed hard enough to knock icicles off the roof. Rachel's face went through about 12 emotions before she smirked. Wanna have some fun? I asked, half joking. She leaned in close, putting her hair up into a ponytail. Oh, I'm going to blow your mind. But I definitely wasn't expecting that to mean she'd spend the next 8 hours weaponizing my garden hose. See, Rachel wasn't just smart. She was built a robot that could solve Rubik's Cubes. Smart. 30 minutes later, she'd MacGyvered my garden hose into what she called the Arctic Death Sprayer, using PVC pipe, duct tape, and pure spite. The temperature was plummeting, the storm was getting worse, and we had 8 hours to create our masterpiece. Listen carefully, Rachel said, like she was leading a military operation. Foundation ice first, then structural ice, then what I call the eat dirt and die layer on top. We're going to make these cars look like someone parked 3 woolly mammoths mid-migration and hit them with a fire hose. We tag-teamed the storm, one of us freezing outside while the other defrosted by the heater. Bit by bit, we coated those cars until they looked like someone had dipped them in glass and rolled them in more glass. The wheels turned into ice boulders. The door handles froze solid like turkey legs. The windshields got so thick you'd need dynamite to see through them. Should we put an ice schlong on Kelsey's hood? Rachel asked at 3 in the morning, delirious from cold. Absolutely, I said. By 7:30 a.m., we were sitting by the window with Irish coffee and front row seats to the apocalypse. The 3 girls stumbled out in last night's party clothes, mascara streaked like rejected pandas, and their screams when they saw their cars probably registered in nearby counties. What the actual hell? Kelsey shrieked, running toward her car cycle in stilettos before immediately eating dirt on the ice, taking Paige down like dominoes. They tried everything. Hair dryers that might as well have been birthday candles, kettles of boiling water that just added artistic layers to our sculpture. Courtney tried chipping with her acrylic nail until it snapped off, and she unleashed a string of profanity that would make truckers take notes. Rachel and I walked past them to my perfectly ice-free truck parked right behind their frozen disasters. Kelsey spun around, staring at my completely clear windshield, then back at her car cycle, then at my truck again. Wait, why isn't your truck covered in ice? Courtney asked slowly, like her hungover brain was doing calculus. Lucky spot, I guess, I said, clicking my key fob. But you're literally right there, Paige said, voice rising. Our cars look like glaciers, and yours doesn't have a single drop of ice? Weird how that works, I said, opening my door for Rachel. Can you at least help us? Do you have anything that could melt this? Kelsey begged. I actually laughed. Nah, I'm good. I glanced at their cars. Besides, they're too ugly to waste a Saturday morning on anyway. They stood there frozen, just like their cars, as we drove off. 7 days and a few missed exams later, they finally freed their cars, leaving half their paint frozen to my driveway. For a week straight, people drove by just to see the ice sculptures, and somehow the message stuck. Nobody ever blocked it again. As for Rachel, that was the night I knew I'd marry her.